the 5th game. Smith down out of his stretch, delivers a change of pace low outside for ball 2. 2-1. The Yankees are ahead 4-2. Smith set his standing sign a moment. Down a swinging stretch and down. Pitch misses outside. Curve that did not stay on. 3-1. Al takes a deep breath. Pushes his lips out for the moment. Time's called as Selkirk steps out of the box. Now Twinkle toes in again. He's turned slightly toward right field. Right fielder Ripple. His back as deep as the wall will permit. Selkirk takes a change of pace in there for call strike 2. Not a slow ball, but Smith slowed down his curve. Selkirk off his timing, did not go after it after wriggling his shoulders at the pitch. 3-2. There's a ground ball rolled down by first. McCarthy up with it and beats Selkirk to the bag easily. Selkirk out by 4 steps. And it's 1 up and 1 away as we start the 6th inning. But Selkirk certainly took a few years off of the Giant Rooters here at the Polo Grounds live. As he hits Smith's first pitch of the 6th inning, a whistling high drive that just was pulled foul. Don Brennan is now throwing in the Giant bullpen. The hitter up is Tony Lazari, who has 1 for 2, a tremendous triple his last trip. And Lazari cannot get out of the way of an inside pitch that hits him on the left knee. Tony limps for about 1 step and then starts walking off down toward first. Shakes it off. He doesn't bother to lean over and rub it. That's the first hit batter in the series. Al Smith puts Lazari on first base, hitting him on the left knee. Tony is walking around, working out that left knee, letting his body weight go down on it gingerly. Tony walks off first. Gomez waiting. Gomez is very, very happy. He singled in the 5th inning, drove in a run, hitting left-handed. Runs down toward third. Ott picks it up. They throw it to second base in time for a force on Lazari. The Yankee strategy was to have the pitcher bunt, which Gomez did. And the oddity of it is that Gomez looked to be a much, much better bunter than the rest of his Yankee teammates who are supposed to know how to do such tricks. Gomez pushing a bunt right down toward third. Ott suspicious of it. Came in on the pitch, picked it up, and threw down to second for a force on Lazari. Gomez with the sacrifice fielder's choice, which counts as an official trip to the plate, is now at first base. He has his sweater on. Very wet. Yankees ahead by 2 runs, and the hitter is Crosetti. Batting right-handed. Takes a curve outside. Ball 1. Outfield pulled a little around toward left. Bartels a step down toward third. Crosetti takes a curve that's neatly in. The count's even, 1-1. Smith, who relies mainly on his curve ball. He has curves at several speeds. He's glad to show the boys anytime they want a demonstration. Looks at first, now pitches. He misses that one low outside. It's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yankees 4, Giants 2. That's at the top of the 6th. 2 of the Rupert rifles have been fired as blanks. Gomez is the only base run at the moment. Leading off first. Young McCarthy holds the corner against him. Smith carefully pitches position, delivers. Crosetti bounces slowly down toward third. Smith runs over, picks it up, throws back to first. In time by a half step. A slow, dying top roller down toward third, which Smith himself could get to a step before Ott. And that step difference made the difference on the out at first base. That's all for the top of the 6th. Warren.
And that, Red, was one of the finest bits of feeling that the series has developed to date. There wasn't anything spectacular about it, but for all the elements that were required, and Smith getting over there towards the line after that hit and keep from sliding in that sort of soggy ground, then right himself, get the ball over to first base in time to keep Crosetti from getting an infield hit. All those things combined to make that quite a play. And at this point, I would say that this World Series of 1937 has certainly produced a lot of great plays. Every game has seen some splendid feeling things on the part of individuals on both sides. And right at this moment, although the Yankees are leading 4-2, and the game is past the halfway mark, one never knows what might develop. The Giants are coming to bat now with the middle part of their batting order, preparing to face lefty Gomez, and we shall see what we shall see. All right, Red.
First up in the last of the sixth inning, Ripple, Lever, McCarthy. Gomez has not finished throwing down his preliminary pitches to Bill Dickey as yet. He has 1 or 2 more left. Umpire Ormsby, standing in back of Dickey, holding his mask in his hand, is eyeing the procedure. Lazari is stationed patiently down at second base, waiting for the last of the pitches and the return to him by Dickey. There it is. Tony puts it down to short. Grissetti passes it on to Rolfe, the third baseman. Gomez, following the flight of the ball, is in position to take it as soon as Rolfe puts it over to him. Now stepping in is Ripple, who has 1 for 2 this afternoon. Hitting left-handed, he takes a fastball inside. All 1. Outfield is toward right. 1-0 to Ripple. First up, last of the sixth. The Giants 2 runs behind. Gomez shoots it down. Ripple swings. It's a line drive over Grissetti's head, safely out into left field. A whistling single. And Ripple, with his second single, is on first base, opening up the last of the sixth inning. A sharp single to left field. That's hit number 7 for the Giants. And it's hit number 13 in the ball game. What will it mean? What will it lead to? Up now is big blonde Hank Leber, right-hand hitter. The pitch is a curve breaking sharply down in for a called strike. Gomez picks at his uniform a moment, licks the fingers quickly of his left hand. The infield is straight away. Up a half step around second. The outfield is straight away. Gehrig holds first against Ripple. Inside for ball 1. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Leber, tremendously big, powerful figure. Taps the heavy end of his bat down on the plate and straightens up. Gomez fires. Leber swings. It's a foul. Back onto the netting. Straight back. 1-2. Hank's behind. Hank, one of the few ball players in World Series history to have 2 hits in 1 inning. Those are his 2 hits for the series, and he got them both in the Giants' big inning yesterday. Gomez pitches. Leber swings as a foul hit down onto the plate and pulled foul on the ground in back of third. Schneider, the Giants' third base coach, picks it up. Outfield still remains straight away. Gomez ready to go. Delivers. Leber swings. It's a hit into left center field. Around second goes Ripple, and when the ball is momentarily fumbled by DiMaggio, he heads to third, and then when Joe picks it up, he ducks right back to second. There was one of these, I go this way, I go that way, and finally I stay where I am. Ripple advances to second as Leber hits a solid single out into left center field. DiMaggio picking it up, fumbled it momentarily, and Ripple started for third, and then when he saw Joe recovering, he immediately held on. And McCarthy has 2 pitchers in the bullpen throwing hurriedly. They look from this distance to be Murphy and Wicker. Nobody out. The Giants have the tying runs on in the last of the sixth inning. And the hitter is Jack McCarthy. The Yankee infield is pulled up looking for a bunt. There it is. And it's foul down along the third base line. McCarthy trying to sacrifice the 2 Giant runners from first and second to second and third to put them both in position to be scored on a base hit. That's the strategy at the moment, or was the strategy on that last pitch. Snyder, the third base coach, calls Ripple to run down to third while the Yankees are having a confab around pitcher's mound. Ripple comes down and Snyder tells him personally. Evidently, he's not going to trust his signs on what this next move is to be. The tying runs are on for the Giants, the underdogs, who are gamely battling back. The Yankees lead 4-2. This is the last of the sixth. Nobody out, and with singles, Ripple is on second and Leber on first. The pitch to McCarthy is bunted. This one toward the pitcher. Gomez fields it, throws over to third in time for a fourth at third. That's the only play. Gomez handling McCarthy's bunt, which was bunted straight back down the middle. Throwing it over to Red Roth for a force by 2 steps on Ripple, who was coming down from second. So you have to score McCarthy as a sacrifice fielder's choice. Advance Lieber on the play down to second base. And have Ripple force that third. Gomez to Rolfe. The tying runs are still on, but now one man is out. Let's see how the Yankees play for this. They're pulling their infield back straight away, evidently playing for a double play. The hitter is Danning. That's right-handed. Gomez delivers. Danning swings and misses. And he went after that one like a hungry man after food when he hasn't tasted it in 3 days. Strike one. Danning, after swinging on that pitch and missing it, asks umpire Osgood to examine it, which the umpire gladly does, and finds the ball well qualified to remain in play. Lieber leading off second, McCarthy off first. Danning swings. It's a high foul back into the second deck of the stands. 0-2. Gomez has now jumped ahead with his first two pitches on Harry Danning. Danning going after both of them. Danning is punishing a big wad of gum, chewing steadily, methodically. Gomez out of position, delivers. Danning swings and misses. Strike three. Gomez bore down, and with three pitches, executed Danning to accomplish his sixth striking bee of the afternoon. The outfield, after being straight away on Danning, now shifts sharply toward right, despite the fact that Whitehead is a right-hand hitter. They don't play him to pull. Burgess Whitehead takes a strike. Gomez sneaking a wicked curve down in there. Gomez bearing down brilliantly now in this clutch here in the last of the sixth. Delivers. There's the ground ball rolled down toward second baseman Lazari, who's up with it, plays over to Gehrig. That falls to Burgess Whitehead, and so ends the giant threat of getting back on an equal plane with the Yankees in the ball game. And at the end of 6 innings, the Yankees are still ahead by their 2 runs, 4-2. Warren.
The Yankees are still ahead, but rather because of some of the most effective pitching in a pinch by Gomez that the series has produced as yet. Those 2 runners on base and no one out certainly looked as if the Giants were going to go somewhere, so that when he had to, Gomez certainly came in there with some fine pitching in that inning, as he did in his first game. And that is one of the reasons, I suppose, why it is that up to the present time, Gomez has never been defeated in a World Series ball game. He's doing all right today, too. All right, Ed.
Thanks, Warren. And now to start the 7th inning with the Yankees coming to bat against relief pitcher Al Smith. Red Rolfe is the first hitter. DiMaggio and Gehrig in line. Rolfe getting left-handed in the crouch. The Giants pull to the right. Red takes a strike. Smith puts the curve right down and over, creasing that plate. Strike one called. Al takes the sign from Danning. Harry comes out of his crouch, then sets his mitt at the target. Rolfe swings, trickles it down toward third. Ott picks it up. The throw to first is going to be close. It's in time by a half step. Rolfe is out. He hit that one apparently off the end of his bat. Rolled it down toward third. 1 up and 1 away for the Yankees, starting the 7th. The little left-hander who's relieving, Al Smith. He came on to start the 6th inning after starting pitcher Melton gave way for a pinch hitter. Is now ready to pitch to DiMaggio. Joe takes a strike. That was a fastball just above the knees, just a half an inch above the knees. Strike one call. DiMaggio has 1 for 3 this afternoon, and what a blow that one was. A home run. Outfield toward left and deep. Joe swings and misses. So that home run was still firmly implanted in his mind's eye, as though that were the star on which to hitch his wagon. Now Smith ahead, 0-2. 1 out, nobody on in the 7th. Over his head and down. It's low. Danning tries to block it, but it bounds away from him. Doesn't make any difference. Nobody's on. Ball 1, 1-2. DiMaggio picks up a little of the moist clay, rubs it into the palms of his hands, now gets a hold of the bat, bounces it down 2 or 3 times on the plate, straightens up, then aside from one pump, stands like an automaton, very quiet with that bat cocked high behind his right ear, swings, fouls it, down onto the plate and up against him. Count remains 1-2. Ball still in play, Danning going out, picking it up, throwing down to Ott, who flips it quickly over to Al Smith. Don Brennan is throwing in the Giant bullpen. Nobody working in the Yankee one. Smith pitching. Strike three, swinging. A low curveball on the outside, and DiMaggio is whipped. That's the first strikeout for Al Smith, and it's the 6th Yankee to be fanned this afternoon. All told, there have been 12 strikeouts so far in this 5th World Series ball game of 1937, in which the Yankees are leading 4-2. Here is Lou Gehrig, who hammered a double his last time up in that Yankee 5th when they went ahead. Gehrig, getting left-handed, takes a strike. I believe that's the fastest ball that Smith has thrown. He whipped it down on the inside, just under the waistline. The outfield sharper toward right and deep. Big powerhouse hitter waiting. Takes outside. That one didn't stay on. 1-1. Combs behind first. Fletcher behind third. Both talking it up, yelling encouragement to Gehrig, who stands there quietly, almost stolidly. He's ready. Swings. There's a line drive deep out of the right. Ripple coming in. Can't get it. Slips the ball, bounds over his head, goes back against the wall. Gehrig is around first. Barry goes for second, into the bullpen. Gosleeva picks it up. Gehrig is coming toward third. Whitehead goes out and takes the throw in. And Gehrig holds up at third base with a triple. It has to be scored as a triple. Gehrig hit a tremendously fast-traveling low-line drive straight out into right field. Ripple came running in and then saw he could not possibly catch it, and so he tried to check himself to take it easily on the first bound without having to play the ball trapped. But as you know, the Polo Grounds is very, very wet after an all-night and a partially morning rain. And when Ripple tried to put the brakes on, well, the spikes weren't long enough. His feet went out from under him. He fell flat up on his back, and Gehrig's ball bounced squarely over him. Went up against the wall, down into the Giant bullpen, and it was up to Lieber to retrieve it. A triple for Gehrig here in the 7th with 2 out. And now the batter is Bill Dickey, hitting left-handed. Bill tries to push a bunt, and it goes foul down toward third base. So Gomez's fair bunt of the 6th inning, even if it did not accomplish its desired result, becomes more and more momentous. Lou Gehrig with a sharp triple leading down off third. Dickey up there, 1 strike against him. That's the first hit off Al Smith, and it's the 7th hit for the Yankees this afternoon. Giants have 8 blows. Dickey waiting, hasn't hit today, swings. There's a high fly ball, belted deep in the center. Lieber is back, waiting, and he has it. That's all for the threat of the top of the 7th. No runs, 1 hit. And it's still 4-2 the Yankees, with the Giants coming in for what they hope will be their half of the lucky 7th. And here's more than half of the mic, Warren Brown.
Thank you, Red. Well, it doesn't seem as though we can have a single half inning in this ball game without getting some manner of a thrill. That was one of the high points of the game, certainly, that ball that Gehrig lined out there into right field. And the Giants, after all sorts of difficulties out there, really did do some remarkable work in holding that to 3 bases. Perhaps Gehrig might have kept on coming and given us a little more excitement down here in front of us at the home plate. But Hank Lieber got over there in the bullpen after Jimmy Ripple was taken out of the play by falling down. The excitement contingent upon the racing of Lieber into the bullpen and the racing of Gehrig around the bases, with the possibility at first of a home run inside of the grounds, certainly had everybody up and yelling around here. The pitching of Smith has been really effective. He's been in there for 2 innings now, and outside of that ball which Gehrig landed on him, he hasn't been hit hard at all. That was the only base hit, and most of the others that batted against him failed to hit solidly. We're having a pinch hitter now for the Giants as they come to bat in their half, and I'll turn the microphone back to Red Barber.
Batting instead of Al Smith, the relief pitcher who took Melton's place is Gus Mancuso, who has a broken right little finger, but he's hitting nevertheless. He takes high outside, and it's ball 1, the swarthy little Giant captain, Mancuso, who split the first bone in his right little finger. Gus takes a strike. Gomez coming right in there with it. 1-1. Gus batting right-handed. Mancuso sets, goes down in a crouch, takes outside. Fastball that did not break down and in. 2-1. First Giant up from the last of the 7th. The outfielder straight away on Mancuso. He The infield playing straight away also. Roth is perhaps just a little wide at third. But he seems to play third a little wider than most third basemen anyhow. Gomez comes down with that left arm. Outside and high for ball 3. 3-1 to Mancuso, who has yet to offer. Gus has just a slight bandage over the end of his right little finger. If it didn't look very closely, you wouldn't detect it. Gus has been soaking that finger. It seems like 24 hours every day in briny water trying to get the swelling down. Gus takes strike 2. Fastball is poured right through. 3-2. Mancuso, pinch hitting, starting off the last of the 7th. The pitch, 3-2, is swung on. It's a high fly ball into right center. Selkirk under it and has it. Pinch hitter Mancuso is out. Now it's 1 away. Starting the Giants half of the 7th, the last of the 7th. The ball game stands at 4-2 in favor of the American Leaguers. At the top of the order, Joe Moore, who has 8 hits in this series out of 21 trips. He has the most hits of any ball player on either side of the fence. Batting left-handed, takes inside. One that caused him to lean back but did not break down over the plate. Ball 1. Moore has 2 singles out of 3 tries today. Chokes his stick somewhat. Swings and misses. Going for one in there on the fingers. 1-1. Luque, one of the greatest of the Cuban ball players in the major leagues, is the Giants coach at first. Snyder behind third. Moore takes inside, getting back from it for ball 2. 2-1. That field of Hogue is straight away. Center fielder DiMaggio is about 4 steps over toward right center. And Selkirk is straight away in right. Moore swings, and it's a line drive to right center field, which is in there for a hit. Joe's third of this ball game this afternoon. His third blow, this one going out into left center field. And that gives Moore 3 for 4 today and gives him 9 hits out of 22 tries. And now there seems to be an electric wave of excitement surging through the Polo Grounds as the spectators more or less edge out from the far end of their seats. They feel that something might be ready to pop or happen. Dick Bartell's up there, batting right-handed. Swings and fouls back into the stands. The upper deck behind home. Strike 1. It's a 4-2 ball game at the moment in favor of the Yankees. With 1 out in the last of the 7th. Joe Moore is on first base for the Giants. Gehrig holds the corner. The pitch to Bartell is swung on, lifted high and short. In back of shortstop. Crosetti under it, and he has it. Then he drops it deliberately and throws over to second baseman Lazari. And so the out is on Moore, who is thereby forced at second base. And Bartell is at first. The infield fly rule does not come up on that situation. What happens is this. Crosetti deliberately dropped that pop by Bartell. The idea was, because it was such an easy-looking play from the start, Crosetti hoped that Bartell would not be running it out. And thereby, if he was not, they might have gotten a double play. As it is, Moore is forced at second base, short to second, and Bartell's the runner at first. The first pitch to Mellott, low outside for ball 1. And now the stage is set in the 7th, as it was in the 3rd, except for one difference. 1 was out in the 3rd, now 2 are out in the 7th. Hart takes ball 2. One thrown at the point of his shoulder, which drives him down to a knee, getting out of the way, and it's 2-0. Hart is at the plate. Bartell is at first base, and the Giants are 2 runs behind. Hart remedied that in the 3rd. Can he do it in the 7th? He takes high inside under the chin. Ball 3. And it's 3-0 to Mellott. The pitch is inside for ball 4. Gomez gives up his first pass of the ball game, walking Mellott to put the tying run at first base. Bartell strolls on down to second. Bartell at second, out at first, and Jimmy Ripple is the hitter. He has 2 for 3 this afternoon. He has 5 blows out of 16 tries in the series. Ripple stands at the plate, sturdy left-hand swinger. Gomez delivers outside for ball 1. McCarthy has 2 of his right-handers warming up in his bullpen now for the Yankees. Gomez delivers, Ripple takes inside against him for ball 2. And Gomez is having difficulty with his control. He has not thrown a strike on any of his last 6 tries. Out at first, the tying run. Montel at second. 2 out in the last of the 7th. The pitch now 2-0 is taken for ball 3 up against Ripple. And it's 3-0 to Jimmy Ripple. One more pitch that will be wide, and the bases will be filled. The tying run pushed down to second. However, there will be a deliberation before this 4th pitch to Ripple. Lou Gehrig, the captain, comes walking down and talks to catcher Bill Dickey. Rainey second baseman Lazari comes over to the mound along with third baseman Red Rolfe to talk to pitcher Gomez. Now Gehrig goes down toward first. Gomez steps back on the pitcher's plate. Lazari goes walking back to second. Crizzetti takes his depth at short. Rolfe his position on third. It's 3-0 to Ripple. The pitch, strike 1 call, right in there. Gomez had no choice but to try and throw a straight one, straight as a string, true as a die. That it was. The outfield toward right, 3-1. Will Ripple hit this one? Let's see. He takes it. It's ball strike 2. 3-2. Gomez takes a look out to the bullpen, as if to say, well, I'm glad to know you guys are out there, but I hope I don't need you. Now the pitch as the runner's break is swung on. It's down to Lazari, who's up with it over to first. That's all for Ripple. And so ends the threat in the last of the 7th inning. And the ball game stands at the end of 7 hectic, bitter rounds. 4 for the American League Yankees and 2 for the National League Giants. We pause for station identification.
WMAQ, Chicago.
Back in the NBC booth in the Polo Grounds, where the New York Yankees and Giants are engaged in their World Series game. The Yankees leading at the present time 4-2. The Giants just having missed another opportunity in their half of the 7th of getting someplace and getting the score tied. Once again, as in the 6th inning, the Giants had 2 men on bases, and that was the way the inning ended, with the 2 men still on bases. The necessary hit was not forthcoming. Jimmy Ripple, who was up there in the pinch, hit the ball hard, but directly at Tony Lazari, and thus Vernon Gomez, in these last 2 innings, having given the Giants opportunities to get the score squared, certainly clamped down on them when it really began to get serious. However, these 2 innings have provided the rather large crowd for a rather chilly afternoon here at the Polo Grounds a little bit more excitement to add to what has been created ever since the game started. This is far and away the most interesting game of the entire series, and that interest has been sustained from start right to the present time. We're going into the 8th inning now, and Red Barber, it's your turn.
Thank you, Warren. And it's now Don Brennan's turn out there on the mound to make his 2nd relief appearance in this World Series. Brennan, who spent most of his years in baseball as property of the Yankees, and now with the Giants, gets his first chance to pitch against the Yankees. Brennan is ready to pitch to Hogue, first up in the 8th inning. The Yankees lead 4-2. Right-hander Brennan delivers. His curveball is outside. Ball 1. Don pitched the 9th inning Friday and set down Dickey, Selkirk, and Hogue in order. He's ready for his 2nd pitch now to Hogue. He's in the crouch, hitting right-handed. Hogue swings and misses above it for strike 1. 1-1. Brennan very cool, very smart. He hasn't a great deal of stuff. He relies on his control and on his knowledge of hitters' weaknesses. He delivers. It's a fastball in there. Strike 2. 1-2. The Hogue first up in the 8th. Hogue this afternoon has 1 blow out of 3 tries. That was a home run, first up in the 2nd inning. That was the first score of the afternoon. Don delivers a curve which is swung on, lifted deep out in the left. Joe Moore is going back, and leaning against the wall, he makes the catch right against the 414-foot distance sign. Joe Moore, 414 feet away from home plate, leaned way back up against the boards and made the catch. That's all for Hogue. And the fielding plays, par excellent, continue apace. And I believe we are approaching even higher hysterical heights in this World Series ball game, the 5th of 1937. Now it's 1 out in the top of the 8th, and the batter is Selkirk, hitting left-handed. He hasn't a hit this afternoon out of 3 tries. He failed to get a hit yesterday. George batting left-handed. Crowd of the plate from behind. Selkirk swinging. The line drive hit out into right field. Ruffles stays on his feet this time. Traps it. The throws into second, and Selkirk with a single holds up at first base. Single into right for George Selkirk. That is hit number 8 for the Yankees this afternoon. The batter now is Tony Lazzari, who hit a tremendous, better than 450-foot on-the-fly triple in the 5th inning. You know, this is a ballpark that is plenty far, straight through the middle. Lazzari hitting right-handed, choking that stick drastically. The outfield is straight away. Infield up around second. Strike one call. Right in, above the knees. One out. Selkirk on first. McCarthy holds the corner. Don takes the sign, then asks for it again. Batter in the show of motion. He gets ready, down into pitcher's position. Delivers outside as the pitch out, but there's no throw to first, as McCarthy was not back on the bag. And in fact, Selkirk was closer to first base than McCarthy. 1-1 to Lazzari. 4-2, favor of the Yankees over the Giants. A curve just misses the outside corner, not holding on. And Lazzari goes ahead on the count, 2-1. Merlot is playing back fairly deep at third and a little bit over to the line. A throw to first by Brennan, holding Selkirk on. Bartell spoke to Whitehead, rest of the Keystone combination for the Giants. Behind the back of his glove, he does it again now, telling Whitehead who's going to cover second. Should Selkirk come down. A high fly ball into short left field. Joe Moore is on his mule, coming in fast, but it's shortstop Bartell back for the catch. Lazzari hit sky high up into the clearing clouds of the afternoon. The threat of rain, which came up at the start of the 5th inning when a few misty drop spells, appears to have been vanished. No one is thinking of rain any longer. Now 2 out in the 8th. The hitter will be Gomez. There he is, coming up to the plate. Back left-handed. He's southpawish all the way through. Danning goes out to talk to Brennan. They're standing a third of the way out in front of home plate, talking for the moment. Gomez stands quietly, leaning on his bat, third row of prop. Danning trudges back of home plate. Brennan sets out there on the mound. Selkirk ready to go on anything. 2 out, leads way down off first. The outfield is pulled toward right and in close. Gomez crouches, takes inside at the knees for ball 1. Gomez has a hit. If he can win this ball game, there'll be no holding him tonight. If he can also win a game pitching and get a base hit to boot, one that drives in a run. Gomez swings. There's a low line drive into left. Moore waiting for it, takes it. Gomez is out. But at that, he smoked that apple right pertly on the nose. Well, that's all for the top of the 8th inning. And as we get ready to go into the last of the 8th with the Giants coming in, the Yankees still lead 4-2. Warren.
Red, if it is true, as it seems to be in the last couple of innings, that Gomez is letting down a little as a pitcher off of his previous effectiveness, he's certainly picking up in his hitting. You have mentioned, and Tom Manning ahead of you mentioned, the fact that Gomez drove in the run, which put his ball club ahead in this 1937 World Series. And now to find him coming up there, hitting at another type of pitching, Don Brennan's type, and lashing that line fly out into left field, he's beginning to look a little bit like Ty Cobb. And as you said very truly, there will be no holding him, because any pitcher likes to win his game when he's pitching, but no pitcher likes anything better than a base hit. And you said a mouthful, if I may use that expression, when you said that about Gomez. Well, here are the Giants with Hank Lieber taking another try at it in their half of the 8th. All right, Red.
Hank Lieber with McCarthy on deck and Danning in the hole. Lieber has 1 for 3 this afternoon. He has 3 hits out of 10 tries in the series. The score is 4-2. Favor of the Yankees. The Giants are not only 2 runs behind in the ball game, but they're 2 runs behind in the World Series. Outfield straight away and deep on Hank, who takes strike 1. Gomez getting the jump for the first pitch. Call strike on the inside, right under the belt buckle. Lieber, a big powerhouse, stands at the plate waiting. Gomez delivers. Fastball inside. Missing by a finger. It's 1-1. DiMaggio now moves over about a step and a half over toward left. The pitch comes in, swung on, and foul tip straight back on the line. 1-2. Lieber's behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes. First Giant up in the last of the 8th. Gomez drives off the fingers of his left hand. Leans down, takes the sign. Giuseppe talking it up and short. Now the pitch. Low and into the dirt. Dickey traps it, has a little difficulty holding on to it, has to chase it back of him a couple of feet. Ormsby asks for the ball, looks at it. Allows it to remain in play. Not scarred or roughened to great an extent. 2-2 to Hank Lieber. The first Giant up in the last of the 8th. Giants trailing by 2 runs. Gomez delivers. Lieber swings, and it's a base hit through the hole between third and short out into left field. And Lieber holds on at first base with a single. His second straight hit this afternoon, giving him 2 for 4. A single into left, which was hit sharply between Roth and Cressetti. That's hit number 9 off Gomez. Stepping up now is young Jack McCarthy. Slender left-hand hitter. He's finishing out his first year in the big show. He was a rookie with the Giants in the pennant race. Gomez pitches outside, ball 1. Johnny Murphy going out in the bullpen now for the Yankees. Gomez pitches, swung on and missed. Swinging strike under the shoulders. 1-1 to McCarthy. Danning's on deck swinging a couple of war clubs. Make one feel lighter. The pitch is under the chin for ball 2. McCarthy had to bend backwards like a reverse jackknife to keep from getting a closer shave than he would like. That is, in a ball game. Gomez looks at first, now delivers. McCarthy swings. It's a long fly ball deep out into right. Selkirk is back, poised, and takes it. And Lieber, a third of the way down towards second, trots back